Real Salt Lake General Manager Garth Lagerwey discusses retiring Jason Kreis's number.
It's something that we kicked around for a while, and this is, it's Mr. Checkett's decision. I mean, we obviously have two wonderful owners, Doyle Hansen and Dave Checketts. They've been super supportive of us every step of the way. And Dave's Mr. Checkett's background is in American sports. Specifically running the Knicks for a long time, running the Jazz. Owns the St. Louis Blues hockey team, and there's an well-established, long-established tradition of retiring numbers in American pro sports, and ultimately it was Dave that made the call to retire Jason's jersey, and I know I'm supportive of it. And it's just, I know people, kind of come out both sides of this, and there's a soccer purist argument that one doesn't do this in soccer, but I would actually submit that there's plenty of examples of clubs that maybe haven't retired the number but have put it in the Ring of Honor or noted it in some form or fashion. And kind of informally retired them. So I really don't think that this is the controversy that perhaps it's been made out to be. I totally understand that people may agree, they may disagree, but I know for us it was really important to associate ourselves with the guy who retired as the leading goal scorer in MLS history when he retired, first American MVP. I mean, and I know he didn't score all of those goals for Real Salt Lake, and I know he may not have set all his records for Real Salt Lake, but Jason's a massive part of who we are as an organization, both as a player and as a coach. And I think that he is very worthy of having an honor like having his number retired. And I promise we will never lose a player because they want to wear number 9 and some of the other stuff I've heard and read. It's never been an issue for us with any player. I think. So as long as we all kind of keep in mind, I mean, we're a 7-year-old franchise, and I think it's important that we establish traditions and precedents and things like that. And I think this is a cool thing. I think this is having ourselves forever associated with Jason Kreis, the coach who won our first championship and the first ever player that we ever signed, and just a big player. I mean, I think he's going to go into the Hall of Fame. When it comes to that. I see nothing but positives in terms of his association with Real Salt Lake, and I'm really happy that we're honoring him. He's the face of the franchise. He's the guy that when you think of Real Salt Lake, the first thing you think of is Jay, and that's a credit to him. In terms of how he conducts himself both on and off the field, and I think there's just not. I mean, he's the guy that came up with the team as a star philosophy. He's the guy that managed that locker room when we had to turn over 21 of 28 players starting in the winter of '07. Jason was the guy that was responsible for saying we're not going to tolerate losing anymore. We are going to change the culture in the locker room, and that was the very first foundational stone that had to be laid. Don't accept losing. Okay, well, so we know what we're not going to be, then what are we going to be? All right, well, the team is a star, and that's going to be the philosophy around which we conduct ourselves in the locker room. And then I can implement the version of that off the field, which is, all right, that means we're not going to acquire star players, but we're going to acquire as many good players as we can, and we're going to ask guys to take a little bit less money so we can have a deeper team such that we can compete in multiple competitions and hopefully consistently compete for championships, even when we have devastating events like losing our MVP candidate in Javi Morales for most of the regular season. So, I remain confident in our plan. And Jason's been, foundational in terms of establishing the plan and in implementing it, and I think in having a vision as to how to carry the team forward, and hopefully will be leading us to multiple championships in the future.